Hey, what's up YouTube? Dope is Yola here. Hope you're having a dope day. Welcome back to the Adventures of Yola. So today's video, guys, is going to be another story time. You guys have been asking nonstop. Thank you so much for being in the community tab on YouTube. When I ask you guys questions, what do you want to see? Hundreds and hundreds of you guys are contributing. Thank you so much. It really does help, guys. It helps spark ideas like, oh, skateboarding, falling off it. You know what? I've done all that. Let me write that down and do that soon. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting. We are so close to 100K. We're 4,000 away from 100,000 subscribers on this channel. You can't smoke, you can't cuss, and we're almost at 100 deep. Thank you guys so much. Today's storytime topic, guys, is something that we all can relate to or one day will relate to. And if you can't, you're very lucky. Guys, today's storytime topic is jobs. Guys, since the day I realized that money is valuable, I can go buy stuff that I want if I can get some money. It changed my whole outlook on everything. I wanted a job. I wanted to do anything I could. Oh, there's work and I can get paid. Let me do it. So the first job I ever did was with my dad. I told him I want to make money and I want to work, and he put me to work. You guys got to remember, my dad and my uncles grew up in the 70s and 80s. My dad was driving a diesel by himself on full trips at 15. That's why, like in the football story time, remember I told you, he used to get real mad at me if I didn't want to go crazy and go hurt people and go hard on football, because he's like, if I had the chance to play, I would be cracking everybody. He never got to play because my grandma and grandpa made him work. So the first time I ever went, okay, how much am I getting paid? How much is it an hour? How much would I get done and how many days? Like, I figured it out. I was about 4 or 5. I was at my grandma's, my dad's mom, way out in the country. The one from Stealing Cars story time. That one. So if you know me or know my grandma's house or know me personally, that entire fence around all those acres, I did that. It took us 5 days to build that fence. From sticking the holes in the ground, putting it in, wrapping the barbed wire. That stuff hurts. I cut my fingers so many times. Thinking about it now, like my dad shouldn't have let me touch the barbed wire. I was 5 years old. But I didn't care. I needed to work. I wanted to make money. I wanted to go buy stuff. When you're 5 or 6, $30, oh my God. You might as well be a king at 5 years old with $30. I can go buy candy and a toy. So after about 4 or 5 days, guys, I'm sitting there like, calculating all the dollars in my head, and at the end my dad goes, so I'm gonna give you $50. And in my head I'm like, oh my God, no way I get $50. Oh my God. But what I really said was, you said you were gonna give me $20 a day. That's $100. And I just straight argued, and I got like $70. My dad played me. He didn't think I was really gonna tough it out and work every day, all hours. Anytime you said to do it, I was there, I was doing it. Give me my money. I can't even tell you what I spent it on. I have no idea. I have no recollection. I don't know what I did. I just know when I got the money, I remember I like looked up like, and it started growing taller. Not really, but I felt like, ah! All right, guys, story number 2 takes place from about 7 to about 11. You guys have heard me talk about my grandma Dolores before, the one that lived right there on 6th Street where I left school after that kid tried to beat me up from the last story time, where he pushed me, we were playing shot put. That same grandma's house right next to Sheehy. Like I said, when I was younger, my mom wasn't really like fully focused in our lives. So my grandma Dolores, she took care of us. Her and my grandpa Tom, she took care of us. She's the one that watched us. She raised us when we were kids. Not saying the whole time, but when we were kids, that was like my mom, basically. She did everything. I was there all day. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to do everything. So like I was really close to her. One thing about my grandma, man, she would buy me whatever I wanted. But even as a kid, I'm not that person like, hey, I want this. Can you buy me this? Can you buy? No, I'm like, can I work? What do you need? What can I do? It was like a video game. Like, okay, so if I do all of these things, I'll get $30. If I do this every day, I'd make like $12,000 a year. And you know what I mean? I'm just doing math. Even as a kid, that would come in handy way later on in high school years and selling candy. Do whatever my grandma says. Can you clean this? I would clean the entire house. I'd do whatever she needed. I'd dust everything, get all her little paperweight trinkets, every single thing my grandma had. Me and my sister were just dusting, doing stuff. And then I went to the garage. And the garage was kind of like Kevin McAllister's basement in Home Alone 1. Like, I don't want to go in there. The back is really, really cluttered. I don't know what's back there. So what I would do, I would like dust as far as the light would touch. And I would tell my grandma I dusted the whole stuff in the back, and I would just not go in the very back. I was scared to death of that garage. Me and my grandma had one thing we did all the time. We would always play cards. She was a master at cards. She was amazing at cards. She told me how to play gin rummy when I was like 5 or 6. I knew how to play war. I started off playing war because that's the kid game. Whoa, and you learn how to count. But to this day, sometimes I feel like she let me win. Sometimes. We would play blackjack, And I would bet nickels and dimes, nickels and dimes. And at the end, I'd have like $6 in nickels and dimes, and I'd feel like the man. So I would work for my grandma, and at the end, I would play her cards and sometimes double up my money. And a little part two to this story. My grandma Grace, that's what lives way out in the country where I built that fence, she has acres and acres and acres. So when I say, can I mow the lawn? It means you have 5 hours of strenuous work ahead of you. You know what it's like being 7 trying to mow uphill? You ever try to mow uphill? It is the worst thing in the world. You have no idea how many times I've like looked down, my legs caked in grass from the sweat. You know what I'm talking about. If you guys worked outside, you know when you're sweaty and everything sticks to you and then you start getting itchy, but you can't scratch because it's gonna get more itchy, and then you're sweating and then you only get like $5 at the end. Okay, story number 3, guys. I know a lot of you have heard bits and pieces. I've never really gotten into it. This is how it actually started. When I was about 12, I knew like I have to get a car. No one's gonna buy me a car. I have to start saving. I have to start getting a job. I gotta do something. Like I said, I was always trying to get money for anything. But now it's more like, okay, I have a goal. I need a car. Like I told you before, my dad and uncle moved to Portland when I was like 13. My uncle had the number 8 ranked moving company in the entire country of Yelp, all that, number 8 in the entire country. We were moving people with so much money. I've never seen those style houses ever. We were ranked so high on Google that only rich people could afford us to move. Like $200-300 an hour? I don't want to pay that, but somebody making $1 million a month has no problem. So I told my uncle I wanted to come work for him. Like I said, I left when I was 13 or 14 to my uncle's for that 2 weeks, and I made a bunch of money. This is how it happened. I get on the plane, my uncle, all my cousins, cousin Adrian from Storytime, the one that saved me from getting jumped, that same uncle is his dad. So when I went to Portland, they picked me up, we went to Walmart, and that's when Beats by Dre, I think, just dropped. My cousin just got Beats by Dre, that's why I always remember it. I'm looking around the neighborhood like, whoa, you guys live in a nice neighborhood. Clackamas in Portland is so nice. Day 1 of working, guys, it's 5:30. My uncle wakes me up, and the first thing he says, are you gonna get up? And I'm popped up, put my clothes on, and go, let's go. And he looked at me like, all right, I thought you were gonna be lazy. I wasn't sure about you. Let's go. To me, I know I am not lazy. I will continue to work until it's done because that's why I make money. That's how I'm trying to get as much money as I can. And I have a lot of pride in what I do. As you can see with everything we make it. I will wait years until I make something just to make sure it's perfect. I want people at the end of the job to look at me and go, I probably should have paid you more because this is perfect. That's the reaction I want with anything I do. Day 1, guys, 2-story house. But if you're from Portland, a 2-story house is more like 3-story house because the steps go up to the 1st story and then 1 and then 2. I wasn't ready for this. I've done football training. I've done wrestling weight cut loss. I've done everything. Ran with the bag to cut weight. Everything you can think of, strenuous workouts. That was the hardest thing I ever did in my whole life. I couldn't believe how hard movers work. The guy has a 26-foot U-Haul truck. I'm loading stuff into this super nice house. This man has to be a millionaire. So the whole time he's like telling us, like just pointing where to put stuff, and I am carrying all this stuff upstairs. Remember, I was super strong in high school. You guys remember the weightlifting competitions. So this is around the same time. I was still strong, so it's not like it was hard. It was just depressing knowing like, that was hard. And you look back, and there's 98% of the truck left. And that's when I realized, like, this is not going to be easy money. Wow. I remember the last box. I'm carrying it up the stairs. And he had the stairs that you walk in the house and it goes like this, 2 stairs that go up. He had one of those houses. I remember I get to the last step and I fell. My legs just went and shook and gave out. I've never had that happen to me before. Even doing weightlifting competitions, I've never had my knees shake and give up. My brain is telling my legs, stand up. Didn't work. No matter what, I like shook and just boom, fell on my chest, fell on the box. I slid the box over the last step and like crawled and sat. Job's over. I'm walking down the stairs to the truck. I sit on the back of the truck. I remember I have a Gatorade. My uncle bought us a bunch of Gatorades. I'm drinking a Gatorade and I'm like, okay. That was 9 hours. As the man starts to pay my uncle, the guy starts to try to haggle with us. The man's obviously a millionaire, well off. Try to haggle $100 cheaper. And I'm not done, guys. We get in the truck, and my uncle goes, okay, we got one more job. And I just like, my heart breaks. I'm like, there's more today? There's more jobs? We did 2 to 3 jobs a day. For that 2 or 3 weeks I was there, I was working 18 hours a day. And honestly, coming to think of it, completely illegal. He should have paid us overtime. So you guys know the rest of the story. I went back. I didn't buy the car. I kind of spent it all on candy and hanging out. Okay, story number 4. This is the story of my first real legal job. The first time I had to go fill out an application, get a W-9 or whatever it is, or W-2, whatever it was. That's the first time I ever had to do that, and this is the story. You guys remember my uncle, the one from all the other story times on the other channel, the one that's married to my aunt, the older one? That one. The summer between 11th and 10th grade, so me going to 11th grade, me and him were hanging out every day. So at the time, me and my uncle both didn't have a job. So he was looking around for jobs. What we were really doing was just hanging out all day. All we were doing was hanging out, saying we were looking for jobs, but we really weren't. So one day we woke up, we both said to each other, today, let's go look for a job for real. So he went and filled out applications for real. I was going anywhere I could, just filling out applications, and I went to this place called Strings. If you're from Merced, Strings is the Italian restaurant, by the college. At the time, I wouldn't suggest anyone to eat there. Now, it might be different. I have no idea. But when I was working there, don't eat there. I get the call back, I get the job, boom, fast forward, I'm starting first day. My very first day was a Saturday morning, super early. I had to get trained, and it was prepping. That was my first thing, my dishwasher and a prepper. I prep all the food, I cut everything. I've never done any of that. So I had to get trained. It was kind of like, I was a little nervous. Like, okay, I got to keep stuff in order. I got to take the stuff out of the fish. I got to do all this. Oh, man. Day one, I'm going through shrimp. I'm taking like the feces string out, which grossed me out. I had no idea how to do that. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm cutting fish. I'm putting lasagna away. I'm cutting tomatoes. I'm doing all the vegetables, cutting and prepping, putting in the walk-in fridge. I'm overwhelmed at first because I'm thinking, if I mess this up and I touch some of this stuff, I'm going to get someone sick. If I don't cut this right, I'm going to get someone salmonella. I was nervous because the guy training me was like a year older than me. First day went along, great. Awesome, super sick. I was all proud, like, yeah, I did all this whole walk-in. I did that. Next day, dishwashing. I do dishwashing. If you've ever been a dishwasher, you've seen Scarface. Nobody wants to be a dishwasher. Dishwashing sucks. If you're a dishwasher right now, I'm not knocking you. We all started off as dishwashers. You're just in the phase before you start doing something else. And if you never do, don't feel bad. If you're happy, be happy. My schedule is I work 3 or 4 days a week. So I'm going in there and I'm just dishwashing. Only Saturdays I prep. I'm dishwashing and I'm just like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. I hate doing this. But I wanted money. I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to do it. So I did it weeks and weeks. Imagine me a montage of just like dishes and then just eventually me just dying inside. So there it is, guys. 2 weeks go by. Boom! My first legal check. I have it. It has those perforated strips on it. I'm like, this is a real check. I open it up and I just wanted to punch everybody in the face. I look and the entire first day where I did all that prepping for 8 hours, they didn't even put it on my check. They didn't add it on my check. You think I'm not going to be up on my organization of my money and time? I know exactly how much time I put in. I did my hours and I showed the manager, Sam. I go, hey, look. He goes, no, they're in there. I go, no, but they're not. Look at the schedule, how many days I worked. All my hours equals up to you shorted me 8. He goes, well, I'm sorry, man, but we're not going to pay you for hours that we paid you for. And I remember in my head, I went, punch this fool in the face right now. And what I actually said was, oh, it's okay, man. We'll deal with it next time. You guys have heard me talk about it in my lives. I do not steal. I won't steal. I don't steal anything. I stole $88 exactly what they shorted me. I stole $88 worth of stuff. Every single night. I am the dishwasher. I take trash out. What I was doing was taking cool stuff, like there'd be food, or sometimes I take beer, but I don't want to say that on this channel, but sometimes I take beer, and I'd put it underneath the trash bag, so when I roll it out to the trash, I'd put it on the side of the trash, and at the end, I'd just pick up all my stuff, hop in the car, and I'd leave. I did the math. I didn't charge what they charge the customers. I charged what they get charged. So I took like 12 pieces of lasagna, came out to like $45. You guys, I did the math. I took it over the course of like 3 days, and I'm thinking, if I get caught stealing my own money back, I'm going to be so upset. But if you've kept up on the story times on the Dopest Yola channel, you remember how and why I quit Strings. I can't talk about it on here because it's not family friendly. But I'll tell you this, the day before I quit, my boss did something that made me feel so uncomfortable, I never wanted to go back. Remember guys, I'm like 16 years old. I am 16, I'm not 18. That man knows I'm not 18. Whether he thinks that I'm gay or not, that man knows I'm not 18. My boss Sam is married to the owner's daughter, has like 5 children. I'm standing there, taking my apron off. He's talking to me about the next schedule, and he's talking to me, he goes, hey. I go, what? He goes, your hair. I have something in my hair, right here. And I touch my hair, and he goes, over. And I go, oh, and he goes, come here. And I don't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, get it out of my hair. And he goes like this. on my life. I've been telling this story for so long. This man looks at me and goes, let me get it. Puts his hands like, I remember it in slow motion. I remember thinking like, what do you do? This man touched me right here and then went, rubbed my whole head and then picked the thing off the back of my head. In my head, I just went, ugh. And I went, oh, thanks, Sam. He goes, no problem, man. I'm 16 and you know I'm 16. Leave me alone. That was the weirdest interaction I ever had with an adult man that knows my age because you hired me. Okay, guys, story number 5. Some of this you might have heard a little bit of. If you go to my other channel, it's called I Quit My Job. I tell the story of how I quit every single job and what led up to it. It's really fun. You should go watch it after this. It's called I Quit My Job on the Dope as Yola channel. But this is how I got the job at McDonald's. I applied. I was so hyped. I was like, you know what? I don't care if I work at McDonald's. McDonald's sucks, but I'll work there. I need money. I was 18, just got out of high school, and this is before I got the pizza job. So I had no job. I'm like, you know what? Give me the McDonald's job. I'll take it. If you work at McDonald's, please put it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. McDonald's, when they cook the meat, when the timer goes off, it sounds exactly like the noise from the everlasting gobstopper machine in Willy Wonka. Da-da. Back to the story. So I'm at McDonald's. I'm the meat guy. I'm like scraping the meat. I cook all the burgers. Oh God, I was just constantly sweating. I hated it. I hated the job. So McDonald's sucked. Let me just tell you this right now. They do not care. If you're an employee, you might as well just be another number because the second you're done, there's another person to replace you. They don't care about anything you have to do. They don't care if you have school. They don't care if they messed up on your hours. They don't care at all. So between McDonald's is the next part of the story. I worked at a box factory where we built boxes that they put the wine in. You know when wine comes in those silver bags and they go in the box? I worked there with Anthony from Storytime. I only worked there for 2 weeks. I hated it so much. And I'm looking at all these like older Mexican ladies just so fast. I'm sitting here like, how are you not going insane in here? Every 5 seconds, I'm like, it's okay, man. It's okay. And it was right after high school, so I'm thinking, I really hope college pays off because I hate this so much. All right, guys, story number 6. You've heard so much about this place. I used to deliver pizza, and you guys know I used to sell candy outside of my pizza car. If you want to go to the Dope as Yola, go watch the pizza story times. How I got that job is I was with Deuce from Storytime. Me and him were looking for a job. It was just like any other day. We're looking for a job. I'm in college. I'm like, I need a job. I am not just going to sit here and go to school and go, oh, I'm in school. I don't have time. No, I got time. I walk into Me and Ed's, the manager, John, the one. Go watch How I Quit My Jobs. Go watch that. The way I quit Me and Ed's makes me smile every single time because I felt so awesome. Anyway, I walk in, we both shake his hand, ask if he needs help, if he needs anybody to hire, and he goes, which one of you guys is faster? I am not one of those people. Me. Oh, no, I'm never going to be that guy. Deuce, you jerk. Within 0.5 seconds, Deuce, me, I'm faster. All right, bro, thanks. I wasn't going to do it to you. John laughed. He goes, all right, go to the DMV. I need your report of your entire driver history. I need a driver. Do both of you have cars? I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I do. I went to the DMV that moment, drove off to the DMV, and I came right back. He looked at me. He goes, you're hired, man. He did a short interview with me and then just hired me right then and there. I was so hyped. I told Deuce, like, dude, I got the job. And he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And a couple weeks later, after I started working there, Deuce ended up getting the DMV printout, and then he worked there too. So it was just me and Deuce. Like, it was a fun time. That's when I met Justin. And then about a year later is when Jeebus started working there. So, like, all of my best homies were working at the same place. It was the dopest, dude. We had Hot Pockets. We had access to make the biggest Hot Pockets on the planet. As soon as the manager left, I was making Hot Pockets this big. I have done so much crazy stuff as a pizza person, seen so much crazy stuff. You guys have seen the other story times. I served somebody with divorce papers while on a delivery, and I didn't know what I was doing. The guy just paid me to drop it off. So there's been a lot of stuff that happens. Go watch the pizza story time. Okay, guys, next story. This is the story of my very last real job. This is the last real job I ever had. I think I was 21, 22. So when I started doing the Dope as Yola stuff, I was in college. I just quit working at the pizza spot. I had no job. Everything was kind of like, yo, dude, go make money. You need to make more money than I'm making right now. So when I started dating Rosie, I told her like, yo, you know what? I think I need to get a job. My dad also has a moving company in Merced. So I was helping him like every other day. Like, I just didn't like the fact that if my dad didn't have a business for me to work at, I wouldn't make money. It's me and Rosie just started dating. I was doing my dad's movie company. It was fine. It was cool, but I needed more. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I go to U-Haul and I rent trucks all the time for some of these jobs. I'm gonna go apply at U-Haul. So I went in there, talked to dude, put an application, did all that stuff. He hired me like that. I'm like, yo, yes. So when I worked at U-Haul, like, it was dope. All the trucks were clean. Everything was dope. Everything was clean. I made sure everything was awesome. I worked there for like 5 months straight. I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I was sitting there. There's a lot of tweakers over there on Martin Luther King. And sometimes the trucks are dirty. I don't know what people are doing in there, but like there would be like sticky stuff on the seats. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I guess. I'm cleaning everything. I was doing all that stuff. I was going to school, still doing Dope as Yola stuff. That's when I had like 10,000 followers still. I was still just barely starting up. So after a while, I just looked at it like, you know what? These pictures and these videos are taking up so much time. If I can just make money doing something else. So I started going full time in Dope as Yola, everything I was doing. Even though I was struggling, I wasn't really making any money. I was barely making my rent. You guys got to remember, oh man, he's balling, all that stuff. No. There's been times where I am flat broke. I have been flat broke struggling like 7, 8 times in my life. Even though all the story times, I'm like, wait, didn't you used to do all that stuff and sell in high school? Yeah. But sometimes things go bad, bro, and re-ups don't happen. And I only started getting paid in 2019. I did Dope as Yola for free for 6 years. I did everything for free for 2013 to 2019. But 2013 is when I started Push Trees. So that's what's kept me afloat enough to do it. And now it's at the point where like Push Trees can buy me houses. Like I can go buy houses if I really strategize what I need to strategize. But I've been broke and poor and lived in lame places and been hungry just like a lot of you guys. I want you to go talk to the guy in your neighborhood that's super rich and ask him what he had to do that. I guarantee you. Well, my first job was at a farm. Well, I used to flip burgers. Every single one of those millionaires started off doing the worst job because they know it's going to take work to do it. You don't just get rich. And if you do, congratulations. That's the dopest thing ever. That's so cool. Don't ever knock anybody for getting rich out of nowhere. That's what we all want. Okay, guys, that was the job story time, odd jobs. I just wanted to show you and tell you. Just because I do this for a living now doesn't mean I've always had stuff easy. Doesn't mean I was born with money. Yeah, my grandma and grandpa are millionaires. They are working millionaires. They made that from 60 years of working. I'm not going to ask them for money. They are not going to give me no money. Like, I don't have those opportunities that some people do have, like with parents and here's money, do this, start a business. If you have that access, all the power to you. That's great. That's so cool you didn't have to struggle. It doesn't mean you're any less cool or didn't work as hard. It just means you got a better step in life, and that is so awesome. But for me and a lot of you guys, I didn't get that. But I did it for myself. I'm building it for myself. I will one day look back and think, I can't believe that was all us. Oh my God. I know a lot of people that are broke. I'm still broke. I don't have a bunch of money. I don't have money. I'm just have enough money to make things circulate and keep the businesses up. Until you see a billboard with my name or Push Trees on it, I'm broke. I don't have property. I don't have any of that. My mom's house isn't paid for. Until those days, I am not rich. I'm broke until I do all of that. So don't be discouraged. Get up. Keep your head up. Thank you guys so much for watching the story time. We just hit 1 million views on this channel. For me to say that, like there's no smoking, there's no cussing, and you guys are still supporting me, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I truly appreciate it all. Before you get out of here, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check out my YouTube header. There's a store there now. Go peep it. I only have 2 things on there. But it's pretty cool that YouTube allowed me to make products. That means YouTube loves me not cussing and smoking. So this channel is going to be really fun to do. And don't you ever think for a second that I'm going to slow down on Dope as Yola channel. Just because I get paid $0 on my main channel, I'm never going to be one of the YouTubers that goes, oh, can't make money. Guess I'll slow down. No. I did this for free for years. I love the Dope as Yola channel. This channel is my backup channel. I put less time into this channel, even though I get paid on it. I get paid on this channel. The Dope as Yola channel is what I love doing. That's what I love to do, even though I come out of pocket for that channel. I don't get paid. I lose money doing that channel, but that's what I do. All right, guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of Storytime. I'm Dope as Yola. Have a dope day. And I have nothing to do. It's the most awkward ending ever.